We are barefooted nuns now. We have no shoes or stockings. And she walks up, and quietly, of course, and just lays a hand, which is perfectly all right, on my shoulder to let me know she's there. But I'm already bound by such fear right now. I began screaming to the top of my voice, and I kept right on screaming. I broke the silence, and then that caused me to be punished. They threw me into a dark dungeon, about a 3.5 by 4 room, no floor in there, and you live in there, no bed, oh, of course not, just straw thrown in there, you're like an animal. And I had to stay in there 3 days and 3 nights without any food, without any water, because I screamed, because I broke the silence. Now some of you girls want to go to the convent, you go ahead. But after you get in there, then you're waking up. It'll be too late. I'm talking about cloistered convents. I think everybody should hear the testimony. When we think of our little girls being disillusioned and enticed by the hierarchy of the Roman Catholic Church to enter convents, and they don't know what convents are until they're in, and that's too late to get them out, I can assure you right now. Oh, listen, they're subtle and they're clever, and they know exactly what they're doing, and it is a sad thing. All right, I have another heavy penance. This is the heaviest, one of the heaviest at that time. And on this, oh, that was weeks after this. All right, now we're coming from up here. We're going down a long, long hall. I tell you, it was very, very long. No lights in that hall until you got to the end of the hall down there. And when I got down there with the Mother Superiors right beside me, I saw something. I saw ropes that were fastened to the ceiling. They're dangling down back there. And the candles are standing over right about there. So there's light. And the Mother Superior, when we got to the end of that hall, she just said to me, now you step over against the wall. I was this close to the wall, facing the wall like this. And I was standing like this, and she said, you raise those 2 thumbs, and I raised them just in that position. And then the Mother Superior pulled one of those ropes down. It has a metal thing on it, and she fastened it around my thumb joint, and then another, and she fastened it around that thumb joint. Then when she gets me fastened securely, there's a little trap over here, and she puts her foot on it. And there I go, and there's nothing in the world I can do about it. She's taking me right up off of that floor. I'm barefooted. And she took me right up on the very ends of my bare toes, and there she whatever she done, it locked. And there I am. All the weight of my body was on my 2 thumbs and on the ends of my toes. She never said one single word to me, but walked out of there and locked that door. And there I hung. Now let me say, folks, you don't know what I'm talking about. I tell you, I learned a lot right there. I had nothing to do but to weep my heart out. And if ever I prayed there. Who did I pray to? I prayed to the Virgin Mary. I prayed to St. Jude. I prayed to St. Bartholomew. I called on everybody I've been taught to pray to my patron saint. But you know, the only God I had was a dead God, because I didn't have any God. I began to waken up then. I began to learn I don't have any God. My God is dead, and so on and so forth. And I'm just praying to idols. And I tell you, it done something to you, but you kept on praying because the pain was becoming so terrific. That was painful, suffering. I was suffering. And I don't know how long they let me hang. I know I hung in my own human filth. I know there's a toilet stool right behind me, but I can't get loose from there. And they didn't come in to let me down. And how did they feed me? I'll tell you what they done right in front of my face. There is that shelf on the wall right in front of me. And the Mother Superior, when they did feed me, and I can't tell you how long it was, I have no way to know, but when she did, she brought a pan with some potatoes in and set it on that shelf, and there was a pan with some water in. Now, I've already suffered 1,000 deaths, and I've prayed to die, I've begged to die, I've pled to die, because the pain was getting so bad. And you know, I'm so thirsty, I want to get that water. I don't know how to get to it. I just don't know how, strung up there like that. And the Mother's going to show me. She's subtle. She knows everything. And this is what she told me to do. For me to let this hand arm's going higher. And as that one goes higher, this one automatically is coming down. And I'm going with this hand over here. And I keep right on going, but that one is pulling. The contraption, the way it is, it keeps pulling this one. The linings of the lungs of many little cloistered nuns have been torn. They have TB when they're very young yet, just from that particular penance. All right, you get there. I don't know how to lap water like a dog or a cat, and so the most of it goes on the floor. Neither do I know how to eat like the dogs and cats, and so most of the potatoes went on the floor. Oh, what I suffered. And your toilet facilities, there is a stool, there's running water in it, but I'm not released, so you hang there in your own human filth. until the day comes that she's going to let you down. Now the time comes when she's going to let me down. I don't care whether she lets me down. I got to that place. I had pled to die. I had begged to die. I was in such torment and such pain, and I wanted to die. But you know, strange, the Virgin Mary was deaf to everything I said. And St. Paul and St. Bartholomew and St. Jude, my patron saint, not a one of them heard me. Nobody come to my rescue. And I don't know God, and I don't know how to get a hold of Him. I don't know how to call upon Him. And so I just suffered it out. All right, when the mother comes in to release me, she released first my right hand, and that dropped my body with a jerk like this with this arm. All right, then she released this, but I can't stand up. Why, of course not. I have no strength left in my legs, and I went to the floor in a pile. And then she taps the bell, and two little nuns came. And those little nuns had to pick me up, one under my shoulders, one under my ankles, and they carry me into the infirmary, lay me out on a slab of wood, and those little nuns will take a pair of scissors and start our clothes all loose, you know. Start at the bottom and cut right straight up through our clothing and lay it over like this. We look worse than any animal you ever saw in a pasture, all right, or your barnyard. And then they have to take all of that filthy clothes off of us, and they have to bathe our bodies and put clean clothing back on us. What for? What for?